Hi, this is my second take at Proverbs 22. I'm not feeling I'm not feeling it. I don't know. Yeah, days like that. But today's one. I just recently started a blog post where I go in and I just, I journal write, and I have a bunch of journals, well, 4, and I'm picking out some of the highlights, some of the ones that stand out to me as a little bit better, and I'm posting them on Facebook. I'm under Desma Morales, and then on YouTube I have the rest of the Bible and audio where I didn't put them on TikTok. If you want to check it out, that's also on Desma Morales. But if you're wondering, I'm saying this because I bombarded Facebook with like a bunch of posts in one day, and I took some out. I'm trying to make it where my blog postings that are written are just for Facebook. Bible and audio is YouTube and TikTok, and then eventually I'll be reading those journal writings here. But I'm not getting a lot of, I'm not getting any response. I don't know if it is a good thing or bad thing, or people are just thinking it's my way, my weird way of just being quirky, and so they humor me and probably hit a like and don't read it. Why I do it is because I feel I have a story to share, mine, and we all do, and I feel like it can help others. I feel also that if the right people were to read it, they could offer me advice, they could offer me comfort, they can tell me something about their situation. So I don't do it for attention. Believe me, I don't like putting attention on my son, and we bicker about it all the time because he feels like I always put the spotlight on him. And the same with my issues. I don't want to put light on my issues just to get attention. It's to share things that are going on that I think other people could benefit from hearing about, so that they don't feel alone out there. And not just that, but that's how like minds come together. And so I felt discouraged about it. Like I always do. I go back and forth. Should I keep going, or should I, delete everything and start over? And I've done that, and I've regretted it. And I don't want to do that this time. So I'm keeping the pages as they are. It might take me forever to come across as confident and the old person I miss, one that you couldn't tell her anything, because I thought, anything was possible. If you could think it, you could do it. And I still believe that in a way, but there's a lot of logic to things too. And we have to accept sometimes people have obstacles that they can't do everything that they dream about. Sometimes you reach a certain age and you can't play sport. I'll never be a pop star. I'm 42. You're not going to be the right age or what they're looking for. But it doesn't mean that all is lost. We all have a purpose. So I'm actually going to pray about that before we start in Proverbs 22, because we all have a purpose. And if you're at home and you feel like you're in a stuck job, you feel like nothing's worthwhile anymore, nothing's exciting, maybe it's because you're stagnant, because you're needing to ask the Lord, what should I do next? And that could be many things. You could start a new hobby, but mostly you could start something by helping others. And that's the biggest thing for me, is if you help others, you're able to appreciate what you have, because what you see others going through, you're able to feel the need that is out there in the world, and you take the attention off of yourself, and your focus point is on an outward view of the world. Like, what does the world need? How can I fulfill something that is missing? And then you'll have hopefully a small sense of fulfillment in that. But we all have purpose. It's not always easy to find, and I don't know how long it takes God to make us realize what our purpose is, but I'm still fumbling through it. And it's been years that I've been saying I wanted to write. So let's go ahead and pray, and then we'll jump into Proverbs 22. Father God, I thank you because you are an awesome God, and that you are able to do anything that you want. You are God. And still you love us. Still you give us another day. Still you give us opportunities to try again. I pray for the listener. I pray for myself and my family, our friends and family, that we find our purpose with you. Whatever your will for our life is, Lord, may we trust you that you will guide us. May we come to you for answers. May we go to you in prayer May we give you thanks, and may we just be in relationship with you so that we can hear what it is you want us to hear, so that we can find our place in this world, because I know we all have one, and I thank you for that. I know that you know each and every one of us, because you knew us before you created us in the womb. And so for that reason, I know we have a purpose, and it's just being at a place where we can receive that and see it, and being in a place where we're ready to perform in the way that you want in our lives. Jesus, I just give you thanks for all that you've done in our lives. I pray that you steady our hearts and minds so that we can receive a word today from you. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. Proverbs 22. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. I like this part because it says that the reputation has more value than possessions or wealth. I know that very well. Once somebody is a victim of defamation of character, it's hard to get that integrity back in your name. It's hard for people to trust you because of everything they've heard. So it starts off very strong, 22. It says, a good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. And I would rather have a good name and people trust me and know that I'm a woman of integrity and a woman with virtues than be rich and nobody come around. Loving favor rather than silver and gold. They love, it's almost like clout. Like you walk into a place and people know you, people respect you. They feel like they can go to you. You're trustworthy. So it's loving favor rather than silver and gold. A name is. The rich and the poor have this in common. The Lord is the maker of them all. A prudent man foresees evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor and life. Thorns and snares are in the way of the perverse. He who guards his soul will be far from them. Yeah, stay away from men that do iniquity. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Don't lose heart if you raise your child in a certain way, and they end up turning up the other way. There's still that part I like to emphasize. Doesn't mean you're a bad parent just because they grow up and are having troubles with addiction or finding their way to the path, but do pray that the way they were raised, they come to know and realize the error, and then they get right back on track. I just say that because sometimes people want to take away from the Bible because things don't happen just as the Bible says. Okay. Okay, so we're on 7. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. He who sows iniquity will reap sorrow, and the rod of his anger will fail. He who has a generous eye will be blessed, for he gives of his bread to the poor. Cast out the scoffer, and contention will leave. Yes, strife and reproach he will cease. He who loves purity of heart and has grace on his lips, the king will be his friend. The eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, but he who overthrows the words of the faithless. The lazy man says, there's a lion outside. I shall be slain in the streets. He doesn't want to go out there anyway and work. The lazy man. The mouth of an immoral woman is a deep pit. He who is abhorred by the Lord will fall there. The Lord detests lust, perversion, fornication. So the mouth of an immoral woman is a deep pit, and he who is abhorred by the Lord will fall in there. He already knows what we're going to do, and he's just saying, I already know that the perverse are going to be, they're going to fall victim to her seducing ways. Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. The rod of correction will drive it far from him. He who oppresses the poor to increase his riches, and he who gives to the rich will surely come to poverty. Incline your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your heart to my knowledge, for it is a pleasant thing if you keep them within you. Let them all be fixed upon your lips, so that your trust may be in the Lord. I have instructed you today, even you. Have I not written to you excellent things of counsels and knowledge, that I may make you know the certainty of the words of truth, that you may answer words of truth to those who send to you? Do not rob the poor because he is poor, nor oppress the afflicted at the gate. Don't mess with the one already suffering. Don't add to their burdens, and don't take away from somebody who's barely making it. They're poor. So he's saying, let them be, for the Lord will plead their case and plunder the soul of those who plunder them. He will be their He will be their vindicator. He will defend them. He will be their shield and buckler. 24. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man do not go, lest you learn his ways and set a snare for your soul. Do not be one of those who shakes hands up in a pledge, one of those who is surety of debts. If you have nothing with which to pay, why should he take away your bed from under you? Don't give him a reason to take don't give him a reason to take the last of your possessions just because you applied for a loan and you asked for money you can't pay back. Why should he take away your bed from under you? Do not remove the ancient landmark which your fathers have set. Do you see a man who excels in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before unknown men. That was Proverbs 22. As always, I hope you got a word today, and if not, that you go right back in it. Proverbs are good for direction. And I hope you take care of yourself. God bless you. Bye.